Hey, Wanderers, good to see you. We're looking at some stuff today that's been happening on cruise ships that are just going to blow your mind. I know that they surprised me. So let's take a look at some of the things that are going on cruise ships today. And I think there's going to be some obvious reasons for it, but then maybe there's some not so obvious reasons. So let's take a look here. What is this? I mean, we got kids who are, they're out on the balcony and they're going up on the outside to the next balcony. Now, this is maybe not as bad as we're going to see in some. This is, if you fell here, you're just going to fall into the next balcony, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, but you're a little ways, at least it looks like, from the edge of the ship. I mean, this is not safe, but it's not the worst. But that is just, you got people on cruise ships and they're thinking, hey, you know what? I can leave my kids here and not have to worry about it because, it's a closed environment and we can just go do our thing. They can go do their thing. But you got to pay attention, folks.
I don't know how some teenagers survive to be adults.
Well, look, I think weren't we all that way at one point? We're like, how did I ever survive? I know we've all done stuff as teenagers and you're like, how do we ever survive that? Riding in the back of a pickup truck, riding in the back of a station wagon in your mom's station wagon, facing traffic coming at you. We didn't have seatbelt. We all survived. But still, this feels a little bit different, right? This feels a little bit on the extreme. Like, I think you're kind of pressing your luck.
This one terrifies me.
All right, now we've gone the other way. Okay, so this is at
they actually don't look very big.
They don't look very big, and this is at Coco Cay. So just a little background on this. I won't name the exact ships, but Coco Cay is clearly Royal Caribbean. These are two cruise ships parked next to each other. This picture was taken from the cruise ship parked across, and they see these kids and they're hanging out here. So my thought here is, they look like they're getting ready. Maybe they've come back from Coco Cay. They're getting ready. Their parents are getting ready for dinner, something like that. Look, I got nice shirts on. They haven't come back from the pool. Like maybe they're going to dinner or something, and they're just hanging out waiting for their parents to get done. So this can happen. Like, I get it. Everybody gets busy. You're in your own house. You're doing your thing. You're getting ready for dinner or whatever. Kids are running around. You never know what they're going to do. But this is the kind of thing you kind of got to know that what they're doing, right? These are those things like it's not a hot stove. You don't touch this. Oh, and you get a little burn. This goes wrong and you don't come back from this maybe.
Right.
Particularly, we're in a cruise port here. So they don't fall into the water necessarily here. Maybe they fall into the water between the ship and the pier. Maybe they just smack the pier. This could go bad in 100 different ways. And,
so scary.
This is crazy. So this one initially doesn't look bad, right? So we have a small child. We have an adult that appears to be here.
All she's got to do is lean over.
How fast do kids move, right?
I can't watch this one.
Kids move so fast that while she isn't like hanging over the balcony, it wouldn't take a lot for her to go over the rail before that person could get from that chair to them.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like it's a problem, but folks, let's just use a little bit of sense. I won't use the word common sense because I just don't think it's all that common. But this is one that can go. This is like many things we see, even in the regular world. But I think on a vacation, our guard's a little down for danger because we think we're safe. We're in an enclosed environment. We're on a cruise ship. There's not a lot of bad things that can happen. Okay, you have to still be paying attention.
And one thing, as far as we know, all these things turned out fine.
They all turned out fine. No one died on any of these pictures.
As a teenager, I mean, teenagers do dumb things. You can't always blame the parents. But this child is small. Yeah. This child is small enough. They're relying on their adult to be responsible, and that adult is not being responsible.
We hear from a lot of people taking cruises with kids of this age or maybe and even younger, and they ask, well, should I get a balcony because I have small kids? And if you've never had a balcony, these doors are really very heavy.
I can't open them sometimes.
They're very heavy,
especially at sea with the wind. Yeah, they're hard.
Industrious as children can be, I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit and say, I don't think that this child on their own could open the door.
Probably
so
not.
I think that with a child of this age, you would be safe getting a balcony and controlling it. Yeah. But here, I don't think we're controlling it.
Yeah.
So I think you're fine in that they're not going to go out on their own.
Yeah.
And this one's not even, I mean, as a kid, it's more,
is that a kid or an adult?
It could go either way.
I can't tell.
I wasn't really sure on the history of this photo. I saw it a couple of different places, but I did see multiple times this person, and we've seen this before. Can you guess what they're doing?
taking a selfie.
Yes, you nailed it. They are taking a selfie.
How many people have died taking selfies?
Ladies and gentlemen, Google Photos today allows you to remove anything from the image you don't want. You do not have to get on the other side of these obstructions you don't want in your picture to get a clean picture. It can do it digitally.
And you can put any background into your selfie. I mean, how many people take selfies at home looking like they're someplace else? Why risk your life?
So I think, a lot of what we're seeing here, this is the one is the one that kicked off the whole current comment about this. We were looking at middle schoolers here, and they are moving from balcony to balcony. They clearly know each other. I'm guessing they know each other. I guess they don't really have to for kids to do this today. And they are walking on the balcony rail to the next balcony. Folks, on most cruise ships, if you know the person next to you, you can get the divider open. You can make one big balcony. That's probably preferable. I'm not saying the kids wouldn't have done this anyway, but this one is the worst, right? Because they are clearly at sea. Now, every modern cruise ship, if you're not aware of this, they have systems that constantly look for people to go in the water. It is a combination of a sort of a heat sensor, sonar type thing.
If you just throw something over the balcony, they know.
Every cruise ship, by the way, this is important. If you buy a balcony and you're thinking, hey, it's a balcony, it's private. It is private.
It's not.
Every cruise captain will tell you there are cameras that shoot down the sides of every ship. They can see the balconies. They have a lot of videos they wish they didn't have of people doing things on balconies. But one of the things about this is you have to think about, like, how would the cruise line, a couple of these where the kids were sitting on the rail, now they're on the rail. What's the appropriate response here for the cruise company when they see this? They could send security to the cabin. Well, we know that if you're out on a balcony, you really don't hear people knocking on the door. We've not heard room service on the door.
But they can let themselves in.
They could let themselves in. But my worry is that you let yourselves in and you startle these kids.
Yeah.
You come to the door to try to get them and say, hey, what are you doing? And now they get startled. They lose their grip. They go over. This is a tough one.
Or maybe whoever's watching tells them when it's safe to enter.
I think the easiest thing you could do here is ring the room phone.
Yeah.
You ring the room phone and they go answer it. And you're like, hey, listen, okay, that's not safe. You guys need to get in.
Yeah.
Because I think any other approach could cause a situation they don't want. But
and at that point, I mean, what's the liability on the parents?
Yeah. I mean, this is of an age group where you could feel safe.
Right?
It is at sea.
Yeah. I mean, what's the liability? There has to be something. The parents have to be held responsible. Or nowadays, even parents don't learn their lesson.
We saw a year ago the cruise ship that resulted in the tragic death of the young child, where the grandfather was holding her for a picture and she fell off. He was charged by the authorities in that country. Yeah. We saw
since released.
We saw on the Disney cruise this year the girl who fell in because they put her in the little portal thing there to take a picture, and she fell off. The father jumped in, was able to save her.
That was amazing.
That was a miracle. I think this kind of situation is one where very, very possibly the parents have allowed the teenagers, grade school kids, to go do their own thing. Because again, closed environment where you're not going to get in any trouble. And they've gone back to the room. They're a little bored. They're caught. They're doing this. Yeah. This is something you got to be constantly aware of.
Yeah. Accidents do happen. The grandfather with the child, that was an accident.
Yep.
That was just a tragedy. This is not an accident. At this point, I mean, if it was these kids didn't show up for school, the parents would be held responsible. These parents need to be held responsible.
Yeah, I think, and most of these ones we're seeing with the kids and what they're doing here, I think most of us who have had children, we do hold the parents responsible. Yeah. And I do that with the understanding of, if like you are in charge, being a parent is very much like being in charge of a company. You cannot know every minute of every day what every one of your employees or your family members are doing. But in the end, as a parent, you are the boss and the buck stops with you. Yeah. And everything, no matter how it goes wrong or what it was, is your responsibility. So, I mean, you have to take every precaution you have. You have to try and, kids are going to do what kids are going to do, but you got to have check-in times. You got to, see what you can do with them. Like, be here, be there. Let me, don't go into these areas.
Your analogy of running, I mean, the mother is the CEO
Absolutely.
of the house. I mean, I've heard that my whole life.
Absolutely. She's running the company. Yes, 100%. Now, I'm going to go, look, are the cruise lines responsible here? I think that there are situations where the cruise lines, might be responsible. Whereas if you see a bunch of kids running loose on a ship, they're not in the, there are definite kids areas they can go to for all age groups. They're not at the pool. If a group of kids are going to just do their own thing, they're going to be like running around through the hallways. I think they have a responsibility to call that out and say, hey, look, hey, where's your parents? What room do you go to? Let's, and they're going to, if I see you again, I think they can take those steps. It's like when you see kids running around a mall or a shopping area, you give them a warning and then you take them to their parents and you say, hey, listen, this is out of control. But I'm going to tell you that I'm wondering, are cruise ships, with all the different things we've talked about and the things they're putting on ships today, that are kind of aimed at thrill seekers?
No, I
disagree.
They don't.
I'm not saying they're responsible. What I'm asking is, are they perpetuating a situation where these sort of thrills, these daredevil things, these people are going to do this anyway? So we look here. We have a roller coaster at sea. Now that's not such of a thrill thing, but it is, it is that thing. Now this is the one I love the most, right? This is Edge of the Anchor on Icon of the Seas. I understand she's harnessed, but where is she?
It's on the edge.
On the edge, on the outside, walking on the edge of the ship, out over the water. And again, I'm not saying you attribute this activity to hanging off your balcony, but I'm saying that the exhilaration from these two things that you get is not that different from a person who would want to do this.
But here's the thing. These are activities the adults do. Well, if an adult wants to be a thrill seeker, take risk and do things, I don't agree with it, but more power to you. Teenagers, they're not thrill seekers. They're just dumb.
I think teenagers are thrill seekers by nature.
That's what I mean. They're not seeking a thrill like an adult is. They just don't think clearly. They're not developed. So
but if you let your children, and you can let them do these activities, it's kind of like if you weigh this much, or if you're a height thing, like when you go to an amusement park, if you let them do these kind of activities,
feel invincible.
And absolutely, they can't die. And you do something like this, where they're swinging out over the ocean. Are you just energizing that part of them to say, hey, this is okay. We can do this. Again, I'm not holding the cruise lines responsible. What I'm asking is this something that by adding these things, we're just invigorating these people to do these sorts of things? Because where you don't really see these? You don't really see this happening on NCL.
Yeah.
Cruise ships although NCL's newer, larger ships do have these things.
It's a different age group.
Well, not NCL.
Okay. Are you saying that an amusement park with a roller coaster is responsible the same as the things that hang out over the ocean?
Well, that's a great analogy, because we here recently, last year, saw a death at the local amusement park from somebody who was on a roller coaster and lost their cell phone in a fenced-in area. And then,
but that wasn't thrill seeking. That was just not thinking.
Right. But what, it's not thrill seeking, but it is not equating the danger.
Yeah. Because
you did that, then now you think maybe, I can climb this fence, I can run in here, get my cell phone, because I'm not afraid of this thing, right? I don't have any fear of this thing.
So you think they feel like they conquered that? So
I'm just saying, is it my only thought is, does this kind of things, which we have not seen on cruise ships in the past, that we now see on cruise ships now. So there are a lot of different factors to it. But when I think, I just wonder, when you put these two things together, when you put these kind of rides, and then you have these kind of activities, is there a correlation in, say, a lack of fear, in that I have energized this part of my brain that says, hey, I want this sort of endorphin dump from doing these materials. So I don't think anything about climbing from balcony to balcony. I don't think anything about hanging off the side of the balcony and sitting on it, because you know what? I just went up there and walked around the smokestack. Yeah, I had a harness on you, but kids don't think about that. They just think about, and why do you do those things? Why do you walk out on the edge of a ship? Why do you take the roller coaster or the swing that swings out over the edge of the ship? Adrenaline. You do it because the endorphin dumps, because the adrenaline dumps. So, I mean, it just seems like when the thrill rides are absent, I don't think we see a lot of this. When the thrill rides are now added, it seems like we're seeing more of this. They could be completely unrelated, but I don't believe in coincidences. So I kind of think that there might be something to the two of them being together.
Okay, so he thinks It is the thrill seeking of the rides transfer.
Well, I don't think it's the only thing, right? I think it's
okay.
a part of it.
I think it is a different type of parenting than what we were raised with or how we raised our kids. Parents today, they want to still take the trip, they have the alone time and do all that stuff, but they want to take their kids, but they're okay with leaving their kids.
So what do you think? Do you believe in any part of this? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with me? Even partially. Is there any part of this that you think is true? Do you think it's a combination of things, or do you think none of it matters and kids are just, it is what it is today and this is just how people are? Tell us what you think down in the comments. This kind of thing, I hope it's going to stop, but I don't know that it is. I think we're going to see more of it. It is quite shocking. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments, and we'll see you again soon. Stay wonder-worthy, folks.
Thanks for spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this and want more insider tips, real travel stories, and deals that make your bucket list closer than you think, be sure to scan the QR code, hit subscribe, or follow. Why? Because every week we bring you ideas that save you money, inspire your next adventure, and show you how to travel smarter without the stress. Don't just dream about travel. Make it happen with us. Follow now so you never miss your next chance to wander worthy.